Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Leo. Today is the day. The sun, which is in Aquarius, is giving the light to the full moon, which is in your sign. And the sun is a dwarf star. The star is a huge sun. So understand an important moment here where you have arrived through your subconscious in the outer aspect of you, your opposite sign, Aquarius. Include Aquarius into your strength. Find through the star the light that is showing you why the lion is roaring to the left. When you become the card, you see the lion is roaring to the right. So everything has an outer and an inner perspective, has a right and a left side. And so today is the last time we are reading to the right. And to the right is to the full moon. When we read to the left, we're going to the new moon, right? And so understand that the message here is strong because the sun is through Aquarius now bringing you the strong energy that yes, you can be a star. And if you are a star, you bring that light to everybody, no matter what, because the sun rules you. The sun is every month in another sign, and so you feel that sign. And that's important because through that you understand the other zodiac signs. That's what we want to learn here. Very important. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the Fool, is the new beginning, so that is playing in here as well, right? And of course Aquarius is side plank. We stretch ourselves out so that we can become a star. And of course you are here in Simhasana, in the lion pose, roaring and reaching through that roar the energy out, right? First in, but then out. You are the King of Fire. Is your birthday between July 13 and August 12? Then is he your court card? If not, look in the description below. I have listed them all there, right? And of course you are, as Leo, the extroverted personality. You go out there and you show who you are, and you're the 5th zodiac sign, and as such also connected to the 5th house of happiness and joy and fun and playfulness, right? Good. So this now to just what's happening today up in the sky. Back to the last reading, we had Capricorn Sun giving Leo Moon the light. The message was the Wheel of Fortune brings the next level of healing yourself. And of course I looked if there is a reoccurring card, and there are 2. And so we can begin the reading. I see through the picture in the front. That's why I place the picture in the front, because I find it always very fascinating, right, of what happened in the last reading, and so what is coming into this reading, because everything is cyclical, right? We cannot separate the last reading to this reading, and so it's always really interesting to see what came up. And you had quite very strong message there, and that's why the Wheel of Fortune brings the next level of healing yourself, which is what we come here, right? We want to come to heal, to be whole, and to be united within ourselves. So I begin with the King of Fire. The first card that is coming is the Six of Fire, which is the Six of Wands, Jupiter in Leo. Now Jupiter is the planet of expansion, is flying high, going up there, and realizing that the 5 and the 6 is an 11, you instantly get a portal. And the 11 portal is letting you know that you find the teacher deep within by daring enough to go out there and enjoying life. Jupiter in Leo, right? It's clear this is a clear message for you to go for adventure. What is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing? It's bringing you the Two of Discs, which is Jupiter in Capricorn. Now this is really interesting, right? It's almost like saying, well, last time the Capricorn Sun told you that the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, told you that the next level of healing yourself is coming. And so you see Jupiter in Capricorn is the money, is the financial sector, but the card is facing down. And I like these cards as a clarification because you can't control them. They come up the way they come up, right? And so the 2 and the 6 is an 8, and the 8, that is you. Here, the Strength card. The moment where you are roaring and knowing that you mark a point. And the Jupiter in Capricorn is usually accepting and understanding that money wants to be interacting between the dualities, and that we, when we give, also can take. And it's an important card, but it's reverse, and you see her with twins and the snake connecting it by biting it into its tail. And so reverse, it's almost like you are not ready yet to see that when you expand out there, what the Wheel of Fortune is, right? To expand and to know that the healing is imminent. It's almost like you not trusting it that you can make enough money with that. So the 6 and of course the 2 is the 8 and the 5 is the 13. So there's a transformation that is happening, and the 4 is left, the stability. So learn to accept this message. Learn to see that here comes something that is not there yet, but the 6 of Wands is there, and that's you, right? Jupiter in Leo. You are the Christ consciousness. You are actually allowing yourself to fly high, right? And in that flight, you learning to watch from above the situation, that here the juggle is real through Capricorn. Capricorn, we always think as that negative aspect, right? The devil, etc., the worship of the devil. But they do it so you get scared of the goat, because this is the most powerful month there is. December, the darkest month of the year. And of course, what we do when it's dark, we do things that we would never do in the light. And of course, that's where the negative can appear stronger. But in the dark, we also can create the seed that we plant, and that seed grows into the light. And so it's a very important message that is coming here to you. Then we're going to look at the Strength card. This is your soul aspect, having the strength to now look deeper. And the first card that came is the Ace of Air. And the Ace of Air is this flying high in your actions, and now in your mind you know that this is what I need to do. The 8 plus the 1 is the 9. The 9, the completion, right? There's a completion in you accepting that you want to go up and fly. What is coming from Aquarius, which is giving you the light right now, you get the Hanged Man. And so the Hanged Man is the number 12. That's Neptune, that's your dreams, right? You're hanging upside down. The 12 plus the 1 is the 13, again, the transformation that we talked about, which is Scorpio, death, letting go of something that doesn't work. The reverse aspect here always of the Hanged Man is like letting go of your head, letting go of thoughts that usually don't help you, right, to go forward. But one thought will actually give you the assurance that what you're doing right now, that you're in the midst of getting enlightened, is coming to you. And that's where the transformation is. A little death, a little let it go each time, right? The way our body sheds the cells and rejuvenates itself again and again. And so the 13 is a 4, the 4 and the 8 again, the 12 comes here, right, to you. And you see that the 12, letting go is important. The 3 is left, which is Venus, which is, of course, the Empress. Now, what is the Hanged Man saying? The Hanged Man brings you the Avenger. And the Avenger is really interesting. I'm going to put it here. Is the one that is wearing a mask. And the Avenger in the light attribute says desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Great, because it's the Hanged Man, we're going to look at this. And the shadow attribute is resorting to violence in the name of a cause. So this is important to recognize that you do not need to push the buttons if you want to be there for a cause, right? If you want that righteousness, live that righteousness, be that righteousness. And so you see very clearly, right, that the Avenger is talking here to you in a very direct and clear way. These are the archetypes from Carolyn Myss, right? And I found this deck not long ago because I always want to know what is then here Neptune saying when I get the Hanged Man. And I haven't had a good deck for it. And finally I found the right deck, the archetypes of Carolyn Myss, right? Because it's clearly the light and the shadow attribute. The light attribute, once it's light, we don't need to really look into it. It's there, you live it, right? But the dark, that's where you find the enlightenment, find the incorporating the negative to the positive. That's what creates the union. So the 13 becomes the 4, and the 4, of course, is then here with the 8, the 12 again. So really go into the stage of the Hanged Man, and the 3 appears there. Then I wanted to see, of course, what is bringing the Mother Piece Tarot, and you get the Sun of Discs to the right, and the Sun of Discs came last time as well, through the same deck, through the Mother Piece Tarot. So I really love them because, like I said, I can't control them. And so for me, that's always what is really happening here. And so Virgo, the 6th zodiac sign, is pointing its arrow here into the center. And that arrow is exactly that one thought. You have to be so strong in the way you focus your mind into really getting into the state of the Hanged Man, that you become one-minded, single-minded, right? And so the 6 and the 1 is the 7 and the 12 is the 19. The 19, that's the sun that is now through Aquarius, which is an air sign, bringing you this clear thought. What is Virgo saying? Virgo is bringing you the Fool, and the Fool is here of course, Aquarius, Uranus, bringing you the understanding that the zero, the point that he is focusing at, right, is important, because the zero is everything and nothing. And so here, through Salvador Dali's deck, the Fool, El Loco, you need to really focus on exactly where Virgo is pointing at. And Virgo is pointing down. See that? She's shooting down into the zero. Here is the zero, and here's the zero. So this is behind it. I'm just going to put this for a moment away. Right? And you see, it's kind of like, wow, so clear, right? Because it's facing the right. He's like shooting here, and you see this line here, it's his arrow is pointing down, and you are clearly making a statement that you want to come into the nothingness, into all that you can understand what nothingness means. That's when we come into the flow. That's when we come into a consciousness. So the 4 and the 6 is the 10. The 10 and the 0 is the 100. 100% bring your attention into the Fool, into Uranus, into a new beginning, into a new way of looking at things, because Pluto is now 20 years in Aquarius, and Pluto is the transformation, is through the 13, that biggest mystery that we still don't know if it's true. When we die, are we what? What's happening, right? And so I want to see what is, of course, the Fool bringing to you, and it's bringing you the 2 of Cups. Love. Venus in Cancer. Love, love, love. Cancer reading was before you, so maybe there is a message there. But the 2 of Cups is so beautiful, because that's the duality. That's what we learn to accept, right? And so the 2 and the 0 is the 20. That's exactly the 20 years that Pluto is going to be in Aquarius. And so you're going to feel that indirectly through Aquarius, right? And that's the last judgment. That's like when we awaken to a new zeitgeist, to a new consciousness. And so this is beautiful, right? You have really a clear message. So the 20 and the 6 is the 26. That's an 8. Then you get an 8-8 portal with you. And of course here we had the 13, which is the 4. The 4 and the 8 again is the 12. And the 12, like I said, the Hangman is right now, do inversions, let go. The 12 turns into a 3. The 3 and the 8 is the 11. The 11, again, you understand that deep within you, you know exactly the inner teacher is speaking and bringing you the awareness, bringing you the consciousness, and in that consciousness you are awakening very clear to this new state of consciousness. Now we look at the full moon. What does the full moon wants to tell you? What feelings are coming? What subconscious message is wanting to come to you? You get the 7 of air, which is moon in Aquarius. Now the moon is in your sign, not in Aquarius. And the 7 of swords plus the ace of swords are 8 swords. Learn to distinguish that the 7 is the emotional intelligence, that when we fight, that when we quarrel, that when we have inner doubt, when we have the victim perspective, that all you can do is maybe come together with like-minded people who accept you just the way you are. And there you gain your strength so that you can awaken. The 9 and the 7 is the 16, that's the Tower. So let go of the doubt, of the victim, right, of not being good enough, and continue your path by connecting with people who really understand you. And so deep in your subconscious, you can clear that. The 7 is left, which is again the emotional intelligence. What is the moon bringing? The sky dancer. Now, because I'm reading back to the right again, the last reading I was reading to the left, this card comes first. But I'm going to leave this little mistake. I think it has a meaning. So the sky dancer is letting you know that the moon is saying, well, go and surrender into the flock, into the people that you feel comfortable with. And so the 48 is the 12, right? The Hanged Man. Letting go in surrendering into the 12. And there comes then the Avenger again. And the Avenger is the one that lets you know, well, here you are awakening to like-minded people so that you don't have to think anymore that you are not good enough. The 12 is the 3. The 3 and the 7 is the 10. The 10 is a new cycle will begin after this reading. We will read to the left again. So the 10 and the 9, the 19 again. The sun, right? The dwarf star is bringing you the message into your subconscious. And you understand clearly that the 10 is left. The 10 that is giving you this information. What is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing? You get the 10 of Wands, which is Saturn in Sagittarius reversed. Now, this card upright is always you doing too much. Here, the women are dancing themselves into a trance. It's almost like you are not wanting to be part of that. You don't want to do so much anymore. And then a 10-10 portal is appearing here, right? Because we had here the 19. And so the 10 was left. The 10 and the 10 would be the 20. And the 20, like I said, came up here. The 20 through the Fool and through the 2 of Cups, right? So see that there is now an awareness towards Pluto. Pluto being in Aquarius and Aquarius affecting you again and again when you have your full moon. Once a year, you will feel Aquarius strongly. And this is right now when you have your full moon. So through that, you will understand that Pluto, which is now visiting Aquarius, it's almost like when Aquarius gives the light to your full moon, there is a guest, and that's Pluto, that is then affecting you as well, right? And so see that the 20 is coming here with the 10-10 portal, but I leave the 10-10 portal as an understanding here. It is important now to see that you don't have to do so much, that you are connecting with like-minded people, and that the self-doubt in what you're doing, you can surrender through the Hanged Man and letting go of that doubt and that thought that you might not be good enough. And now the sun, the dwarf star, is bringing you the air element, and the air element is the Ace of Fire, right? Is the motion, is that movement, are those horses, and it's almost like these horses up in the sky are reminding me of here the ship up in the sky, that you see again the 22, that the 2 of Cups with the 22 makes 3 times the 2, and that the 2 of Pentacles creates 4 times the 2. 4 times the 2, you understand, okay, I gotta become self-empowered through my creativity, through the way I see the world, and the way I see the world, I'm moving forward, right? I'm moving ahead. What is Aquarius saying? Because the sun is in Aquarius, the 4 of Cups is coming. And this card came last time as well. So the Sun of Discs came, right, with the error that is pointing to the Fool, which is the 22. So understand that the 22 is here through the 0, and so this is also 3 times the 2, right? But of course I created the 20, and the 20 is Pluto. So here we see that she's sitting and she's not seeing what is coming at her, right? What is coming at her? The 0, the 22. There is something coming at her, at you, and you are going to awaken to it. You're going to see that here, this shield from this bird, which you saw that these birds are similar, goose and all the ducks, etc., right? And the doves are here to help you to become who you are. And so almost this goose is protecting you, even though it's kind of creating a shadow over you. You see that? It's really interesting. And so you learn to understand that the 4 of Cups is Moon in Cancer. And the Moon in Cancer, right, brings always that understanding that you have to open yourself up no matter how difficult the situation is. Because the 22 is a 4 as well, so we could do a 4-4 portal here. Right? And so, of course, I leave the 22, so this could be the 22nd of April. And that's where spring begins. So there's a new energy coming towards you through the Sun. And what is the Mother Piece Tarot saying? The Justice card is coming, pointing to the right, up, right. And Justice is Libra. And Libra is an air sign, and so is, of course, Aquarius. It's the Queen of Swords. And here in this deck, it's the 8 major arcana, not the 11. So the 8 and the 4 is again the 12. So the Hangman is coming again and again through the number, so that you can see that you do not need to get into this game. Be the balance. Be the one that is just to everyone. And then things will clear. So then the 3 appears. Then this becomes the 22nd of March. That's where the day and night equinox is happening. And you will see that's the day of justice. Justice is I am in my equilibrium. So now the 8 and your 8 makes Libra connected with you. The justice is deep within you, right? Because in some decks, the 8 is Leo, in some deck, the 8 is Libra and reverse, right? The 11 is Leo, or the 11 is Libra. And so here you see the proof of it. Here are the 3 women standing around this tree, touching it and protecting it. And the 3 again is the Empress, which we had coming up as well, which is Venus. What is Libra saying? Libra is bringing you the 5 of Pentacles, which is Mercury in Taurus. And so Mercury in Taurus is bringing you self-worth, right? The 5 and the 8 is the 13 again. That's Scorpio, a transformation, death. The 4 is left. The 4 with this 4, a 4-4. The 22 can also be a 4. 3 times the 4. 3 times the 4 is you feel in your heart the self-empowerment, and only through your heart can you live the justice, be these 3 women that are connected to the tree of life, right? And so again, the 4 is coming here and teaching you something, teaching you to understand that you are awakening always, again and again, a little more, a little more, and a little more. Some awaken instantly, which is sometimes quite terrifying, right? They're not able to function in a normal world. They sometimes just need to literally like go into the forest and be like, okay, I'm just gonna have to digest what's happening here. Eckhart Tolle had that experience. He was like awakening, and it was really scary, he said, right? It was not easy to live that. So awaken bit by bit, and let it come to you in a way that you feel that your self-worth gets established through these 4 coins, because the 5th coin is always in the center, is always there where your heart is, right? And so the 5 of coins and the 2 of coins is 7 coins. 7 coins, that's of course the emotional intelligence that we need to incorporate to understand how important it is to love oneself, right? To connect on a deep, deep level, to see that true love is equal, right? Yes, one is down and one is above, but that doesn't mean that this one below here is less good than the one above. It's here an equilibrium that says, well, these two, when there is above and below, and some place it more right to the left, right, that then people say, well, the one on the right is better than the one on the left. You always see the infinite here in the center, and that's where you want to focus in the 8. The 8, the strength that you have deep within through the love, through this type of love. And remember, here we had the 22, and here the 22. That was like 4 times the 2, right? It's crazy. So 4 times the 2, you understand that in your heart, you know you want to be creative. In your heart, you know that you want to give the love that you have here beating in your heart endlessly, and that the self-worth in this 5-5 portal is letting you know, just continue what you're doing, continue to evolve, continue to see that 6 cups is love, self-love to the highest, to the maximum, and then 6 cups and 6 wands is that moment you understand, okay, I can do it, whatever I am doing, even though you had here also 10 wands, so 16, the 16 again we know is the Tower, is Mars, let go, and the 7 appears again, the emotional intelligence to know that you give yourself the love, and even though someone is holding an umbrella above your head, you know deep within that you change that you begin to see a new path, and you taking that path forward, and that you have justice with you, that justice is always there. If you live it, you don't need to proclaim it, you don't need to actually become the one that then almost becomes violent in the cause of peace, in the cause of a good cause, right? So it doesn't make sense. And of course, remember the Sun of Discs that was right to the right, and so he was shooting his arrow down into the Fool, and so this is the 6 and the 0, but it's 100% that we got here, and that 100% is like, yes, 100% a new path begins here, because that's what the Fool is. The Fool is bringing you a whole new aspect. From this reading on, we're going to go back to the left. We're going to go back deep within to your new moon. And then you understand that the Sun and the new moon are going to be both in your sign. And that's when you have arrived and understood the bigger picture. Amazing. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Pisces. Pisces is, like I said, always love, right? Love that, of course, can also feel like this. But Pisces is that path that we're taking. And so I wish you a beautiful full moon ceremony today, right now at this very moment. The full moon is 99.9% full, right? It's only 2 hours full. And so I hope you're gonna do a ceremony and celebrate this day of being finally in your opposite sign and being the star that you are. And I thank you so much, of course, for being with me. Namaste.